Hi guys. Okay, so this is a video to let you know, as you know, there is an event on the 26th in London. I was meant to speak. I'm not sure what's going to happen now because basically the movement has been infiltrated. I mean, it was a matter of time. So first of all, let me tell you, Piers Corbyn is a friend of mine, but there's only so far he can go, and I think he knows that. This is why he doesn't really tell the whole truth. And it's the same with David Icke. He only goes so far. They allow them to go so far, and they can't go any further. And Piers knows that I go full truth 100%. So for some reason I can't get hold of Piers. But worse than that, this is what we've discovered. So the person who has put the money forward to help organize the whole event, the whole COVID tour basically, is a guy who I know called Justin Walker. He's a guy who's been trying to, who's been telling people to try and get back to the English Bradbury pound, a bit like the leader of Germany in 1933 when he had his own currency, which saved Germany. So obviously Justin Walker would love to do the same thing. Anyway, it's got a bit of cash on the hip, so he's the one that invested in the COVID tour, and quite a few £1,000s. And that money was given to a couple of women. One of them's got a boyfriend, I can't remember the name, but anyway, she's called Louise May Creffield from Brighton. We can't really find anything on her, but they're all friends. Obviously she's got this boyfriend, can't remember his name, sorry about the noise. And then this is the one that we've really been looking at. This is the one that people need to research, and this is what pisses me off, you know. Even Piers and even Justin, before you employ anyone, you need to research and find out who these people are. So there's this lady called Simone Marshall, who's been on the COVID tour at the weekend, because I think she works during the week, okay. She's an asset manager for a company which is called Public Sector PLC, and her department has to do with sustainable development policies. Basically, she's working for Agenda 21 of the United Nations, the very people that we are fighting. So it's a bit like Occupy. It's been infiltrated by her and her friends, obviously. They're probably going to try and destroy the movement from within. We have told Piers, we have told Justin, we have told Piers, but because they're so desperate to put the event on, they've actually asked us to not do anything until after the event. But as a result, me and Sandy Adams, I don't know if you know Sandy Adams, who's been doing a lot of shows and a lot of lectures all over the country, a lot of talks all over the country on Agenda 21. Mainly on what's going on in our councils, with Mark Windows from Windows on the World, and with Piers Corbyn as well. So Sandy is not able to speak, even though she's basically one of the main spokeswomen for Agenda 21. And also this Simone Marshall is also on LinkedIn. She is also linked in with a company, a healthcare company called Octopus, which sounds very Freemasonic. So this person is actually working for the enemy, and she is basically the one that organized the COVID tour. And she's obviously saying all the right things, but I don't know what's going to happen. So what's happening is that only they're allowed to speak. David Icke is allowed to speak. We already know what David Icke's been saying because you can watch his videos. What I was going to say is the truth about viruses, okay, that no one else is saying. At the most, David Icke has said that COVID-19 has never been isolated. Well, it's worse than that. No viruses have ever been isolated, for the good reason that they don't bloody exist, and the reason that virus means poison, okay. And you can talk to I'm going to try and get hold of a video that Mark has done, because basically he was talking to some virologists who are also coming out with the truth, but they actually even admit that they've never looked at a virus under a microscope. This is not what they show them under a microscope. So all this truth is out there. I'm not telling you that because it's just me saying nonsense coming out of my mouth. This is the truth. I've known that truth since the beginning. But of course, I've only got 200 followers. I used to have about 3,500 followers on my Araya Soma, but of course I deleted that one. So I've had to use a different name just in case. So a lot of people don't know I'm back on here, especially from my Facebook, which was deleted a year and a half ago, my last one. I've had about 9 accounts on Facebook. So obviously they don't like the truth. So unless I can speak on Saturday, I'm not going, because the whole point of me going there is I only need 5 to 7 minutes to do a quick speech talking about viruses. I'm not prepared to travel all that far not to be able to speak, because no one else wants to say this fucking truth. So, you know, unless somebody else gets the chance, you know, who's there, who gets the chance to tell this truth, you know, in some ways, peers on David, I wouldn't say they're controlled opposition, but they're kind of like useful idiots. They're being used to say some truth, because obviously they have to say some truth, otherwise they would not be able to do anything and sell any books or do anything, right? But they can only go so far, and then it reaches a point where, you know, David always blames the Jesuits. It's not the Jesuits. I know some Jesuits which are absolutely fine. It has nothing to do with the Jesuits. That is not true. There's of course, the Jesuits have been infiltrated, and there's a lot of Jesuits that are part of this, but it has nothing to do with that. Even the Vatican has been infiltrated. So it goes back a lot further than that. The pharaohs, the Pharisees that became the rabbis, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it has nothing to do per se with the Jesuits, just like it has nothing to do with the Jews either in some ways, because I've got a lot of Jewish friends who know nothing about this shit. So we can't just blame one group. Everybody's been infiltrated. So the real bastards behind all that are called the Phoenicians, who became the Venetians, the Pharaoh were also the pharaohs, became the Pharisees, the rabbis, the priest caste, and became the bankers. Yeah, so it's worse than that. And of course, they mutilated children at birth, you know, with circumcision and all that, to keep them in check on them, and then bamboozle them into a cult that none of them really know anything about how far that cult, the satanic cult, goes into. So anyway, so I'm just saying, it doesn't look like I'm going to be there, because unless I can say this truth, there's literally no point for me to go there. I'm not going to stand there in a crowd listening to David on Pierce talking, who are not telling, probably talking about 50% truth and not the whole truth. I only do 100% truth. If I didn't know that truth, if I didn't even know about it, I wouldn't be speaking at all anyway. Okay, because that's the most important thing. And Sandy has some very important information about the whole reason behind COVID as well, and everything, and that David is not talking about, and that Piers is not talking about, right? And they won't allow Mark to speak. Mark doesn't really want to do it anyway, because they already know Mark is kind of like blacklisted in our community, because, you know, 100% true. They don't like it. Because if you tell 100% truth, look, I've been telling 100% truth about World War II, about what really happened in World War II, about a lot of stuff, and I've been shut down everywhere. And I don't even have that many followers. So people like Mark, on David, on Piers, if they were telling 100% truth, they would be shut down straight away, you know. I've been shut down since 2014, but I managed to reopen accounts and keep going. But last year, now because of my IP address on my computer, they won't even do it, right? So to repeat, watch out for a woman called Simone Marshall. She'll probably be speaking on the 26th. Share this video, because it's very important that people know that our movement has been infiltrated. That is a fact, okay? This Simone Marshall works for a company called Public Sector PLC, and on LinkedIn she's also associated with a company called Octopus, which is a healthcare company, and it's all to do with the Gender 21 vaccines and so on. So what the fuck, okay? And we have told Mark, and we have told Piers, and they should not allow this person to speak. And apparently, yeah, this is funny. She said, "Oh, I've only just woken up in January." So if you've only just woken up, why the fuck are you even allowed to fucking speak? That's because they paid them to organize the event. And yeah, so, you know, it's so complete nonsense. I mean, you know, if I was Piers on David, I would say, I don't care that you've organized the event. You're not fucking speaking out. You've been outed now. Fuck off. Like, go away. You're not. You have nothing to do with us anymore. This is what I would do. I wouldn't care about, like, oh, you know, this. Yeah, the event will still happen anyway. It's not like this fucking Simon can stop it now anyway, right? So we've been told that they'll go for their jugular, you know, afterwards. But how? You know, to go for the jugular, you do it before the fucking event, yeah? Anyway, I just thought I'd say that, because it's just absolutely, this happens all the time. I did that with a guy called Kevin Annette in Canada. I didn't know much about him, but I fell for it because I thought he's saving the children. or helping to save the children. And then within about 2 months of helping spread his videos, obviously I'm in the UK, he's in Canada, so it's not like I met him or anything, but I started to hear stories about him, but I thought, no, this can't be true. And then something happened. A lady that was working for him from Australia got completely slagged off by him and deleted by him, and then I found out from her some things that she discovered, and I started to do my research, and I realized, and then I met a guy from Canada who is a beautiful guy called Alex. He calls himself Captain Chemtrail in Canada, and he worked for Kevin in Canada for 2 years on the stuff he's got on him. I mean, he doesn't have any common law course. It's all bullshit. And then this is also when I woke up to the fact that a lot of people, it's all about their ego. They just want a lot of followers. They want to make, he was asking for a lot of donations as well. And then people think, oh, great, we don't need to do anything because look, Kevin is helping to save the children, so we don't need to do anything. You know, there's already, let's just, okay, we'll share his videos, but we don't need to do anything because there's already a guy doing it. He was doing fuck all. So it's about all of us doing it. This is why I keep telling you, I said in one of my videos earlier, about 3 months ago, we should all be doing videos. All of us should be making videos like I'm doing them. Spread the truth that you know. Don't talk about anything you don't know, but anything that you know that you've researched, spread it. Even if your family and your friends think you're nuts, it doesn't matter. We all need to speak up. We all need to do YouTube videos. It's not about one person, like David Icke taking over the whole movement. It's about all of us speaking out. We're all in it together, apparently, yeah? So, it's not about having a guru out there. You are your own guru, okay? So please, do some videos. If you can share this video, incite other people to make videos, incite people to research the truth for themselves, because, we don't have a lot of time as far as I'm concerned, okay? So, okay, so I'm going to leave it here. But yeah, please share this truth, because if everybody that was going to attend the event knew about these 2 women that have hijacked our movement on allowing David and Piers and Justin to fucking even talk at it, when I'm not allowed, when I know the fucking truth, I've been awake all my fucking life. This woman only woke up about a fucking year ago. It's disgusting, and I don't know what they're going to do to the movement. Obviously, it's to fucking destroy it from within, like they did with Occupy. This is what always happens. They use Piers because Piers is an older man. He only comes up with certain truths, so they use him. To them, he's just a useful leader. I'm really sorry to say, but this is how they view him. I mean, look at when he went on live television. Piers Morgan was fucking shouting at him, On David Icke, again, only goes so far. Okay, he knows that if he said the whole truth, he'd be shut down. So don't get me wrong. I still love David Icke. It's not, and I still love Piers. But be aware that they're not telling the whole truth, and be aware that there's only so far they can go, and be aware that now that the movement is being infiltrated, it's just going to make things worse, for sure. All right then, guys. Lots of love. Bye-bye.